I'd like to now yield to Rabbi Baker, whatever time you would like to consume.
Chairman Smith, thank you very much. Thank you, Representative Cohen, for being here. Enormous appreciation has to be expressed to you personally, Representative Smith, and to really this commission, which has spearheaded efforts to understand and to combat anti-Semitism in Europe. A decade ago, at the immediate aftermath of the ill-fated UN conference in Durban, we sought effective means to alert the public to the resurgence of anti-Semitism in Europe, which included a dramatic increase in attacks on Jewish targets, frequently triggered by events in the Middle East. We also witnessed the beginnings of what would become a new problem of anti-Semitism in public discourse. And we turned to you. We turned to this commission. My message today to you is a simple one. The problem remains, and we still need your help. It has become almost commonplace to find mainstream media coverage of the Middle East conflict, and particularly in Western Europe, demonizing Israel. It is manifest in news, in cartoons, and in commentary. Some observers have described this as a new form of anti-Semitism.
Rabbi Baker, thank you very much for your leadership. Very, very eloquent statement today, which gives us much to act on. The reason for this hearing isn't just to receive information, it's to give us the guidance on this commission and, by extension, to Congress, both House and Senate, a blueprint for where we should go from here, and both of you have done that very, very well today. Ms. Rosenthal, in your trends that you articulated, you talked about Holocaust relativism. It was unique. It was an effort to wipe Jews off the face, certainly of Europe, if not the face of the earth. Had Nazism prevailed worldwide, certainly that was a final solution contemplated. So if you could speak to that, if you would, and perhaps Rabbi Baker.
Yes, Holocaust relativism, obfuscation, and what other word we want to use, we see it in a lot of places. Some of it has to do with trying to cloak it into honoring people who fought communism and the Soviets without any historical context on what else was going on under the Nazi regime. It's very, very problematic. As to Egypt and what's happening in the so-called Arab Spring, I just want to tell a completely different story. And that is, and I was able to communicate this to the government of Egypt. Jews have lived in Egypt for thousands of years. And from all records, this was the first year that they feared they could not go to synagogue for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the two high holy days, to pray. Our embassy was very helpful in, facilitating it. But what's happening there for religious minorities has people very afraid. You have definitely called out what we all fear could be the bad outcome of a transition. I don't expect the transition to be smooth, but I have to remain optimistic.
Can I just encourage you, if you would, to encourage the Secretary of State to designate Egypt as a country of particular concern for all that you just mentioned, for the accelerated attacks on all minority religions, including the Coptic Church. I've chaired 2 hearings on the Coptic Church, and especially this new and horrific abuse whereby, and I don't want to deviate too much, but they're literally abducting Coptic Christian girls who are teenagers and then forcing them to become Muslim, and then at age 18, putting them into a marriage that is a coerced marriage. And it seems to me that since CBC status, which the International Religious Commission has recommended anyway, that Egypt be so designated, carries with it the potential of at least 18 separate actions that can be taken by the U.S. government, including denial of certain types of aid, and military aid is something that needs to be considered. And it seems to me that the relevant issues on the ground have so shifted that if not now, when? This would be the time. So please take that back, especially in light of what you just said about the fear factor that is palatable for people who want to go to synagogue.